Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream. How is everyone doing? Already March, 4th of March already. So it's another Saturday, and as you know, on Saturdays we do the weekly market analysis, basically just going through trend review and try to anticipate good levels to trade from for next week. So if you have any good ideas, you can share in the comments, we can discuss the levels and so on, and you go from there, right? So if you are new, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you get value from it, you can share it as well. Basically the assets that we're going to go through, we always start with the dollar index. I really care about the dollar index. It's one of the assets that I analyze the most because of all the correlation that it has with basically all the other assets, particularly with the major FX pairs, but even with the dollar and the gold and so on, especially since last year. So yeah, start dollar index, go S&P, NASDAQ, maybe Dow Jones, maybe DAX, then go to individual currency pairs, the major ones. You can take a look then in the end a little bit of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So feel free to share any levels that you are looking for. But like the main point is for us to try to find good opportunities, to try to predict what may happen next week. And yeah, go from there. So welcome everyone. Yeah, feel free to subscribe to the channel. So where were we last week? All right. Zani, how are you? Long time no see. I've been away. How was your week? So here we are. Dollar index. Where was it? Where were we last week? 7th of February. 25th. Yeah, we were at the highs, right? We were just literally reacting from this level last week when price it closed, and basically this is what happened this week. Yeah, just missed this movie here. Right, so this is what happened. Price kind of ranging in between this level. If you were watching some of the streams for a few weeks ago, or even a couple of months ago, we noticed that you were bullish on the dollar. Actually, that you were waiting for the dollar to break these lows, break those lows on the left side as well, until it turned bullish. And that our target, our initial target, it will be this level in here from the 6th of January. It was an NFP data. Now, last week, yeah, price indeed was around these highs, and I mentioned that there were still a little bit of a fresh supply above this level. So in the moment, hi Phantom NX, how are you? Good morning. Joar, is it like that you say it? Yeah, so I mentioned last week around that level. You can go to the 15 minutes. I think I still have enough historical data on the 15 minutes to go back in there. Let's go back. Moment trading view creates something similar to kind of lock it anytime you change time frame and for price to stay where it is. That would be amazing. So here we are. Oh, this was the level that I was looking for, right? So last Friday, not this one, but still on the 24th of February, price was kind of reacting somewhere in here. And I mentioned there was literally a little bit of spice still between this high and that level. At this point, price literally still stayed below this high. So again, I cannot really see on the 5 minutes or 1 minute on a low time frame to see what the hell is going on in here. Maybe price created some kind of supply in here with kind of maybe a little bit of a left shoulder in there, and price dropped. So maybe this could be indeed maybe a good level to still look for shorts in the future. From what I could see in here on 15 minutes, I was looking for price to navigate towards this level before any sell. At this point, price still reacted from there, so kind of have a double top now, considering this high and the high from the high from this week. This one in here, right? So as you can see, price still stay there. It was a nice zone actually. Got good PI. Price kind of broke these lows first before kind of faking out that level. There was still then now kind of maybe some orders in there. On the 4-hour time frame, if you actually look at 4-hour time frame, bonjour. Bonjour. Ça va? Where are we? I've got what's now. On the 4-hour time frame in here, you can actually see that kind of the wick is in there. Basically where price eventually reacted from last Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So where it reacted in here, Tuesday maybe, or Wednesday, it was just the base of this level. It was a nice supply on the 1-hour time frame, but then on the 4-hour, this was the supply, and then we have this one at the extreme, and still the other one in there, a little bit higher. As you can see, it was still fresh, this level. So basically we had this one in here, where price kind of reacted, and then we had this one in here, where price now reacted as well. So that's done. And of course there's maybe still something in here at the extreme, and then of course the other one above it, which is kind of eventually my favorite from all of them. Something that we also mentioned, I think this was during the previous stream on Tuesday that I mentioned attention to this one, because on the dollar index we broke below this low on last Tuesday. It's another day that I do the stream at 6 p.m. We broke below this low, so I was looking literally for price to continue to move down. There was still this demand in here, and eventually maybe can go and navigate all the way towards that level. So eventually that zone was filled, price reached this level, and now it's basically within this range. Yesterday, nice reaction from here as well. So let's see what the dollar is going to do. Are we going from this level navigate all the way to the downside? Are we kind of resuming and retesting this level in here or not? I mentioned before, for me these highs can be quite important in terms of then in the future, if I will still be looking for longs in the case that price has a deep retracement towards here. As I mentioned, I would prefer to see maybe this high has been broken and then kind of the deep retracement to occur. Because then maybe there's a potential to look for a continuation to the upside if we do break above these highs eventually. Then we could aim to look for price maybe to get closer either this level or even a little bit higher. But for that, in my opinion, this highs needs to be broken first, and at this point it looks like they are being respected, and not just being respected, they are actually creating a little bit of a structure even underneath the kind of the fresh zone, the origin of this move down. So even by creating a little bit of a structure in here, maybe attracting more people to sell still underneath this high, eventually we can even have some kind of fake out. Oops, that's too much. Some kind of fake out into there without even breaking these highs, the high in here, just breaking these ones, and eventually move to the downside. If this happens, maybe in that moment I may become a little bit more bearish on the dollar. But for now, I would still like to see a little bit of a deeper retracement on the dollar to go higher. Nevertheless, we do have a little bit of this range that can be maybe seen as a potential zone for price to go to. Even somewhere in there could see. As you can see, we already broke way too many lows in here. We broken that low in there. We have all this structure in here that can be eventually taken. All this can be maybe seen as a compression, especially in a higher time frame. Yes, in a lower time frame, there was still this demand in here that where price reacted from. So let's see. A little bit of a range. There weren't that many news. Next week's going to be again maybe more volatile in terms of the news. Maybe finally we're going to have a little bit of momentum. I was Australia, I think it's going to be another interest rate. I think in Canada, another interest rate. And that I think there's going to be Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Don't remember now. And in the middle of the week, there's going to be 2 days in a row where Fed Chair Powell is going to testify in front of the government, and usually there's going to be some commentary in there for sure that will move the market. So expect some end, of course. Then we have all the labor market reports coming out with NFP next Friday on the 10th of March. So expect some volatility. Maybe finally we are going to have some momentum. And NFP has been such a critical data coming out this year so far. So we had, for example, this high being created around the NFP in January, and then we had this move to the upside with the last NFP in February. So let's see where we're going to be where price is going to be by Friday when you have the next NFP in March. Are you going to go down? Are you going to manage to break above it? Are you going to have a deep retracement during the week and then maybe move to the upside? Let's see. Again, I'll be paying attention how price reacts around this high, if you break it or not. But that's a little bit of what I'm going to be looking for on the dollar, paying attention. This range in here, yep, price was kind of a little bit in the middle. Didn't find that many good opportunities. This was maybe a good reaction there. We have all these highs in here to fake out. Price just goes there, spikes it through, and goes there. So maybe there was a good moment in there. Look for something. From that, nothing much. Yes, there are for sure opportunities during the week, but this is what we have on the dollar at this point. Maybe a bit more room to downside. Nevertheless, there's maybe still something in here at these lows. We did kind of break a little bit above this high, but not exactly anything in particular. Let's see if we're going to have a little bit more of a range before. Let's see which direction price is going to break through. So that's for the dollar. A little bit of indecision in here now at these highs. Is this kind of a distribution phase with price kind of slowly starting to move to the downside again, or it's just kind of a pause before the next move higher? That's kind of a question mark in there. We have a really strong move in the indices, kind of 2 days in a row, since Thursday and then yesterday. So this is something that we were looking for on the S&P. I was looking actually for price to go a little bit lower, but it was a good reaction from this level, and this is actually important. So on the daily time frame, both the daily, not 4 hour, both S&P and NASDAQ, they were reacting from the 200 moving average in here, which is of course an indicator that many people look at, especially the institutional traders and so on. So it was touching, it touched a little bit in here. There was a moment Thursday morning that it kind of looks like it was about to close below, or it was at this point, the lows were below the moving average, and if we had a negative day on Thursday, most likely we would have closed below the moving average, which could have seen or show some signs of a bearishness for everyone that uses this moving average as a directional indicator. But what we had was kind of just a reaction from this demand zone, and actually we managed to even break above the previous high. So that may have seen a strong bullish signal, and out the candle from Friday, the trading day from Friday, just shows a little bit more strength and more bullishness in here in the indices. So yeah, so in terms of just, I don't even really pay attention to all this moving average, but sometimes it's maybe important to be aware of maybe where the big guys are looking at, and maybe some indicators that they pay attention to. And most likely they are seeing as this rejection at the moving average as a bullish scenario. Similar on the NASDAQ. As you can see, it kind of just a fake out. It even created a double bottom, retesting this moving average, and then kind of just a fake out to collect liquidity maybe from everyone that was trying to buy it at the retest of the moving average. There you go. It got faked out and price still managed to close above it. We have all this compression on the way down. You can even see all these wicks in here, and now we had a really strong closing yesterday on the indices, right? We have all this approach. We have a double low. We have the fake out, even fake out this slightly low. Actually, that for me is seen more as an engulf to downside for the future. To be honest, this one for me is actually indication that price wants to go down in the future, maybe from here, or as I mentioned as well, this actually starts to look quite good because, as I mentioned, this for me is actually an engulf up first because we slightly took these highs from there, and now a natural thing to do is when you have kind of an important break of a high in here on the left side, and when it's just a small engulf up, usually price tends to go and kind of fake out the most recent low, which kind of basically is this one, right? From here we had 1, 2, 3 kind of bullish candles, and this is where it started after a little bit of this retest. Basically this was the most obvious low, especially on this daily time frame. So it just took it a little bit, and now it may be ready to go higher and to resume the bullish movement in here, and maybe finally starting to go target maybe these levels in here. So yeah, maybe there's a little bit of a retest to have in here. I don't really like anything else in here. There's maybe a little bit in here as of a zone that price could react a little bit, but I think maybe we are in the scenario where we could see the NASDAQ finally resuming the move higher. This for me, this break of this high for me is a bullish scenario, and I think we could see that. I think we could finally target even this level, or finally reach this August highs, because I think price eventually wants to get there, and when you get there, maybe that's when you can have move down. On the other hand, as I mentioned so many times, it's actually good to see, as I mentioned, lows being broken on the way up, right? Something that I mentioned. So eventually maybe you can even use this low as a future target or some shorts. For example, if price continues to go higher, goes higher, whatever, eventually if it turns, this could be a natural target or space to eventually fill somewhere in there in the future. So yeah, it's just how we kind of collect and gather information as price is moving along. So yes, all this rejection, quite interesting to be honest, to see even a double low created around the 200 moving average, spike down, and there you go, strong bullish momentum in there. Now, this is not really something that I use, but there you go, I just paid attention to it. Yes, and on the NASDAQ, on the S&P, good reaction from that level. Let's see now what's next on the S&P. At some point, yes, of course, the break of this high completely showed more bullishness in there. Question mark is, would we kind of have a bit of retracement towards the system zone and then continue? Apparently, price just completely broke to the upside. And that was it. Another way to, if you wanted to look for an entry or a long in here, you could have drawn this this bearish trend line. Even pay attention to this most recent high. As soon as it broke, maybe you could have tried to attempt to look for longs in here on the S&P, and maybe that was the opportunity for you to go for it, right? We kind of fake out this low, kind of important, and then you could have looked for that. Yep, I'm going to just delete this one. I don't really think it's relevant. Yeah, show us the magic, Pedro. Good morning, Kalimera, Faden, Ikanis. More room to the upside on the dollar. Yeah, it could. That's a good question, right? So I was literally bullish during our month of February. I'm okay with where price is reacting. I still would like to see price maybe going again, as I mentioned, somewhere in there. So I'm not going to be fighting or forcing dollar to go higher if it doesn't really start showing that it wants to go there. We kind of add this left shoulder, kind of fake out in here, kind of broke a little bit of new lows. This kind of maybe already a reaction a little bit closer to that left shoulder. Maybe can continue to move a little bit further down. Again, my favorite zone to look for a sell, it will still be under test of this extreme. And yes, until we kind of break these highs, in my opinion, and break of that high could show bearishness, even though maybe it could actually retrace first before then continue to go higher. But yeah, so far again, the bullish scenario that I saw from here, it reaches target. So we'll see what's next on the dollar. Kind of what I'm looking for. So we'll see. We may have broken into this compression, so maybe price wants to go a little bit further down. Yeah, yesterday's move, price, it sounded like a little bit of this kind of mid-range move. I don't know if you guys remember when I mentioned similar to, of course, different scale. This one took maybe a week to do. The other one was kind of just a day. Similar to this kind of a move, right? Kind of we created a low, and price kind of was trying to find itself until kind of continue to the direction where we were expecting. It will be to the upside eventually to reach this level. It's a little bit of what happened yesterday in here. A little bit of indecision. Price kind of reacted from a good level on the left side. A little bit of a decision here, maybe creating a little bit of these highs in here. I even broke a little bit that low to the downside first, then went up to do the fake out, and now kind of maybe resuming to move towards this level. And I think maybe even from the way that price closed, it was a little bit dead, and all of a sudden in the last hours of the trading day we had a little bit of a strong move, kind of breaking finally these lows and moving further down. Maybe can attempt to get closer to these lows, and let's see what's next in here. So yeah, indices again a little bit more of kind of cover it already. Let's see if we get closer again towards this level. There is a little bit of a retracement to occur a little bit in here, and then maybe just continuation to the upside. Let's see, but price kind of respecting a little bit that 200 moving average and reacting quite nicely from somewhere in here. Maybe the level that I should cover, maybe this high could be the one. Whatever, just cover that one instead. Yeah, so yeah, I can see, right? Because this was literally one of the last months that was still fresh, as price was moving upwards. We can literally see that this low never really reached that level, not even a little bit this one neither. Not this one, this demand in here was still fresh, kind of beginning of this compression down. It was respected in there, eventually broke it, and you just continue to go down. Yeah, so you think that the dollar index is going to respect the... If it respects, it's perfect. I'm just not forcing it. The price at this point is in the middle. So I'm going to wait for... I'm going to wait to see what price is going to do at the extremes at this point. I'm not going to be forcing it. I could see price going a little bit further down, at least closer to these lows. So maybe Monday morning, maybe there's opportunities to look for sales on the dollar, for price to navigate closer to this towards to this level. And then let's see if price respects it and it wants to continue to go higher. Perfect. If price starts breaking in the lows, we'll see. And let's see then if price indeed comes. I think if you break below these lows, there's some kind of possibility that price can go below these ones. There's maybe some kind of left shoulder in here that price can still use. Just below all these lows in here. Yeah, maybe, but I think price could naturally go below these levels. Yeah, let's see. But below these levels, there's nothing much. Everything looks already been spiked on the way down, on the way up. Sorry. We'll see. I'm just not forcing it, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to wait and see. And for sure, we're going to have some clues along the way, because it's going to be an important week next week. Dow, there you go. It went all the way down to respect this low once again. Kind of look like a broken risk, but you already know, guys, that I'm kind of looking. I was looking for price eventually to navigate towards closer to this lows in here. Apparently, not yet. Price hasn't reached that level yet. Which one am I doing? Okay. It respected the low, so no engulf down just yet. We had this strong trend line, again another one that maybe could have found the opportunity to go long in there on the retest of these lows when you had kind of a little bit of this spike in here. Let's see what the Dow is going to do. As you know, I'm kind of a little bit more bearish on the Dow comparing with the other indices. But okay, it didn't broke the low. If it had broken the lows, I'll definitely then be looking for price to eventually navigate towards this level. It didn't. It just respected literally the low in here. This could be the target to look for after it kind of broke these lows and price moved to the downside. So again, half of it has been done. No forcing anything else. Whoa, DAX. Strong move in here. So we are creating all this range. We respected this wall, broke it. Yeah, we respected it. Okay, so we had all this range in here. And as I mentioned on the DAX, I actually like to see. I'm looking for price. I've been looking for price to eventually get closer, fake out these highs in here, and to get closer into there. So let's see how price is going to react somewhere from there. Maybe can be or can originate a good sell opportunity. So it's just something to keep an eye on, right? So something to be aware of, something that I would like to see. They managed to break out this structure in here. We kind of respected this decision point in here on the daily time frame. So maybe don't see that as an engulf down. I think the first engulf that I see, it's maybe actually this one. Maybe the break of this one somewhere in there. Maybe that can be seen a little bit. Then we have all this compression in here. Something in there. Then price respected. Okay, price kind of breaks a little bit of some of these lows, but eventually I would like to see price going there. So yeah, there's going to be some kind of demand being created around this level eventually when you break these highs, and that's kind of what I want to see. If price kind of leaves this demand somewhere in here, then and fake out all these highs. If it respects that level and if it starts moving to downside, and if you break above this level, that's maybe a good opportunity to attempt to look for a sell, maybe retest again these lows, or even start to navigate even farther down, maybe finally now retesting something in here. Yep, or even all the way to this amount. So let's see if that happens. Something that I don't really like is, of course, is all these historical highs in here. We created as a double top. Not the biggest fan of that. Eventually could see that double top being taken. But for now, there's maybe some opportunities in here above these highs into that level to look for. So yeah, maybe this week we're finally going to get there. Only Friday? What Friday? The big news. Euro index. Yep. So let's actually watch it on 4-hour time frame. So yes, we had a little bit of a bullish momentum on the euro. I think it was Thursday. No, there are more because the Pedro is going to testify. I think it's Wednesday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Wednesday. There's a few interest rate decisions coming out in Australia, Canada, a few job market reports as well, job openings, the ADP, non-farm payroll, and so on. So there's going to be a few news coming out next week, which can affect the market for sure. So yes, again, nice reaction from the left side, something that we have looked at. I'm still looking for this range. I'm aware that price never really broke this low. This was kind of a nice move of price kind of breaking above this level, coming all the way back to test something like this, and now fill the space to the upside. Basically, the break of this high kind of open space for price to navigate towards the extreme in here, and price reached there, and now it reacted to downside. Now it's reacting a little bit from this last supply that should have been respected, and it was not. So kind of a supply can work a little bit over the demand. Are we going to respect this level or not? Are we going to go a little bit lower towards this level, or eventually are we going to start breaking down and finally move all the way towards that level? Right? And this would mean strong bearish move on the euro. Is the euro already ready to do that? If that's about to happen, then dollar maybe is going to go higher. Even though this euro index is not just related to the euro dollar, right? It's everything else in between. It's euro pound, it's the euro Aussie, it's the euro CAD, it's everything else. So yeah, interesting to see. Let's see. There's maybe still even orders in there as well that price can still use, and then maybe navigate to the downside. Yep. Let's see what the euro index is going to do as well, how it's going to behave if it retests this level once again, and if you manage to break these levels in here, maybe we can continue to move further down. All this looks compressed all the way until there, so if eventually if you do break below this level, maybe we can go further down, and then maybe even further down once again. So yeah, that's for the euro index. The yen pairs. Yeah, the yen pairs I mentioned last Tuesday, like just before the stream. Kind of was a little bit upset because I missed the short on the yen. Kind of a good setup in there when price reacted from this level. Price is within this range now, and actually then there was a really good setup as well to short Thursday evening. So this is what we have, and let's see if this level eventually is going to break above it and price navigate to the upside and maybe retest this previous level in here, or if by any chance price kind of maybe respects a little bit and is going to start breaking these lows. So yeah, let's see. Maybe price can go higher from here, which should be euro yen, pound yen, and so on, dollar yen, to move to the downside. Yep, let's see what's going to happen in there. Is there still something in here? Yeah, maybe this demand is still even fresh, so we can even have, no, maybe not my favorite at this point, but maybe we can even have price kind of breaking above somewhere in there, kind of retesting it, going down a little bit, and then doing something like this. Not really sure if that's going to happen. EURUX looks bullish as well. Second. Yeah, I just showed this. I just showed this zone in here. Like from here, it looks like it's bullish. Like it looks like yes, it's respecting the lows, not exactly breaking it. So yeah, maybe it looks bullish. But if you actually zoom out a little bit, and if you notice where actually price is reacting from, yep, let's see. This could be one good level that we could have a little bit of a deep retracement before then maybe the euro to continue to navigate to the upside. But yes, I'm aware that price never really broke this demand zone. It's kind of respecting it. So yeah, let's see if price still respects its level and goes higher. Maybe have a little bit more room to the upside, maybe even above this high. That's maybe even something within this level that price can react from. If not, maybe all this is compressed already. Maybe a bit of reaction there, and maybe can start paying attention to zones a little bit more to the upside, and maybe this can be the favorite of all. And I'm actually going to draw something in there, because now that I'm looking at this, within this decision point, maybe price has already reacted a little bit from something in there, but I think that eventually we can navigate towards above this high in alignment with these left shoulders, and that would be amazing. That's a long way until we get there, but yes. And we have also all this KM. So if this was a 5 minutes time frame chart or a 15 minutes time frame chart, my favorite level to look for eventually a sell, it would be here. I could expect some reaction from there, and I could see still some reaction in here. Now, maybe from these lows, I would expect eventually price to go all the way until here, but maybe from here we could have a little bit of a deep retracement before we do that. And that's kind of the kind of move that I'm looking for in here. Maybe a little bit more of a deep retracement before maybe we can resume the move to the upside. But yeah, again, I'm not going to be forcing anything. Yeah, something in there could be amazing. Maybe taking out this high visible in a huge time frame. Of course, there's maybe something in there along the way. Eventually, for example, taking these highs in here can be something interesting as well. Now, when price is going to do that, I don't know. When price is going to reach again this level, no clue. It's a lot of compression on the way up, as you can see. It's a lot of move, a lot of retests. Basically, every single demand is almost taken on the way up. Maybe missing now something in there. Yep, a lot of compression in here. So yeah, let's see what's next. But yes, even above this high where price is reacting now, there's maybe still something within that level. Just check the 1 hour time frame. We did it. I haven't really checked that zone for a while. Oh, come on. Okay, 4 hour time frame. Even in here, price kind of already took that one. It left a little bit of this supply left. There's maybe something in here. So yeah, price is reacting from somewhere in here at this point. Kind of the base of this. Yeah, maybe there's something even above this this zone in there, all the way into there. So maybe there's something in here that you can look for. So price could, okay, maybe fake out the high where it is. Maybe even react from somewhere in there. If you do break above this high, I could see price eventually navigating straight away into there. And if you then eventually break above this high, there's maybe this extreme in here as well. So that's another zone that maybe could look for in the future. But yes, if you eventually do break above that level, yeah, maybe we can eventually keep going higher. But again, this is just for the future. So let's see. Meanwhile, what Euro is going to do. Yeah, and let's see if it starts breaking lows as well. It's important to pay attention to, right? Because yes, it respected the extreme in there. Yeah, yes, I like it. I like that one. And it could be like eventually you could see a big reversal on the euro, or to the one you had here on the dollar yen, and maybe dollar yen now from this demand zone because what we have in here, right, kind of broke those highs, reacting from that level, but this zone in here, it's quite strong. None of these walls kind of reacted from there, so it's literally the demand that is in there. Let's see if you don't start going upwards from here. Let's take a look at the major FX pairs. All right, euro. All right, Faden. What you are looking for on the euro? So what happened on the euro? Like similar to the dollar index. Basically, it created the lower low straight away Monday opening, and it reversed after that. Right, we had that weird closing 1 week ago on Friday, fake out and move upwards. It reacted as you have been looking for. It finally reacted a little bit from this target. Now there's maybe something underneath that price can still go there. But yes, as soon as you start seeing all this strength, and especially after we broke above these highs, still on Monday, when you had that strong momentum on Monday and you broke above this level, I was looking for price to go and navigate more to the upside. And I think we even mentioned the potential of price retesting still this demand zone somewhere in here as a continuation, right? Because none of these lows reacted from there. So it was a nice move, and kind of with that we kind of left a KM in here, right? Yeah. Where did price went to? On the daily time frame, it's a good level where euro kind of reacted, right, from this kind of beginning of this down move that we had in here. So this level kind of was still fresh where price reacted from. Then price went all the way down to respect this demand zone, and kind of we are within this range now. A little bit similar to dollar index. Question mark is going to see, are you going to navigate to the upside, or are you going to go a little bit lower first? As you can see, even at the extremes in here, there's maybe still some orders that price could collect, or there's even something even closer to this level in there that price could even fake out this week's lows and then still respect something underneath there before moving higher. If, and it's a similar scenario with the dollar index, if we do break below this low, I think it opens door to go further down, but before that we may just react from this zone that is still fresh in there, or even below all these lows in here, somewhere in there, and we could then have the deep retracement that at this point euro hasn't done yet. So when you did kind of reversed beginning of February from this level, price hasn't really come back to this level. Maybe in here, maybe this week in here already took the orders from a little bit from this left shoulder. We never really got closer to anything in here in terms of deep retracement as price was moving down. The max in between two was just in here. We never really did this in order to continue to move down. So there's maybe still orders somewhere in here, and I think eventually you are going to have that deep retracement. And in terms of looking for more sales around this level, I think it will be important to first see this low being taken, or some specific zone being taken that kind of opens space, a little bit more room to the downside, and then you could look for those sales in there. So let's see, or to be honest, this could be literally a zone where we could see euro kind of resuming the move upwards. Now this is kind of the beginning, is kind of the low that originated all this move to the upside, and maybe price is just coming down, retest that level, and now eventually navigating higher and even create a new high, because now that I'm looking at where actually this high is reacting from, it's reacting from somewhere in here, and maybe there's still space for price to go a little bit closer to that level. So there's maybe literally more room to the upside on the euro. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Again, this is daily time frame. This is a movement maybe to occur until next May, next summertime. We'll see. Intraday level, or kind of what to expect from next week or next week. yeah, let's see if we create new highs in there, and let's see if by any chance, so the other zone is a little bit in here, since this wall is basically just retesting a little bit of that level. And again, as I mentioned, are you going to respect still this level, or are you going to go all the way down, break out this wall, and maybe have a deep retracement, having a deep retracement after that, right, and start moving upwards, and maybe targeting this high in here, which could be eventually the target that you're looking for this retracement in there. At least this target, why price then could literally go higher than that. That's a little bit of what I'm looking for on the euro. Again, this was a nice reaction, really nice zone in there, where price reacted from, and yes, this was a good zone as well. Just the way price moved, I was not really focused in that moment to look for trades. All of a sudden there was some kind of commentary from a Fed member, and price just spiked to the upside and just moved away. It was not really ready to trade in that moment, but I was waiting when price paused in here with this low. I was waiting actually for price eventually to go a little bit lower to attempt look for longs on the euro. I was aware of all these kind of left shoulders in there. I actually like where the lows had reacted from, so yes, I was looking for some kind of longs in there. Just the timing of it was off, and yeah, all of a sudden price was already trading way above the lows, which kind of the risk reward is not really there. A nice reaction from here yesterday. Again, one of the last demands that was left behind. We have kind of a left shoulder in there as well, kind of another KM, and none of these lows kind of reacted from there. So there's literally a little bit of a spice in there where euro reacted from. And yes, yesterday the strong closing of price moving to the upside. So let's see if we don't continue to go higher on the euro. Any levels that you are looking for, any key levels, specific levels that you are looking for. If price goes above this level, eventually there's maybe still something in here. There's literally a supply that was left behind at these highs on the euro. So all these highs in here, they didn't really reacted from there. It's actually where I entered short on the euro. Price never come back to the level. So even considering the highs in here, yep, so we created all this range. Even the next morning, kind of price still reacted from here, and we never got closer to this level. So I got shortened in here when price moved away, and price eventually, with all these highs, I was actually expecting price to go back there again. It never did. So this level can be interesting for an opportunity to look for shorts in the future above these highs into somewhere in here. So just keeping an eye on that level, but eventually price could break and go higher. But I think there's maybe at least intraday some kind of opportunity that maybe you can try to take advantage of. Of course, it depends how price approach that level and when it does. So, yeah, let's see. Meanwhile, at the lows, yeah, this is the extreme of the demand, kind of still fresh in there, and maybe something underneath there. Yeah, that's for the euro. Pound. What are you looking at? Pound. Again, pound, interesting enough. Aside from the double top and the double bottom, now we have actually a triple bottom. Price reacted sizely at the extreme of these lows. So the extreme in here of this demand zone, price managed to respect it. I was actually already looking for price to eventually to create or fake out this double low. It didn't happen. Price respected it and it's starting to move higher. Respected extreme, and yesterday actually again strong closing in here of price moving higher. I don't really have anything in particular to say about the pound. We are within this range. Price reacted from that level that you're looking for since price starting to move to downside. Since there's highs, I was targeting this level. If you remember, at this point, pound will need to make a decision in terms of eventually moving to the upside, moving downside. Are we now ready to navigate towards there again? We are within this range. I haven't really been trading pound for the last 1 or 2 weeks. Since price kind of reached that level and it's not breaking anything. So I want to see spice. I want to see a zone being identified, and I don't see it at this point. Price just respecting the levels, either the highs or the lows. So it is what it is. Yes, after we broke this high, maybe could look for moves to the for a move to the upside. We had all this compression. It was actually quite obvious yesterday with the news. All this compression here. That eventually price would feel it, or that PMI service is coming out. There you go, feel the spice, and then apparently continue to move higher. So nothing much to say about the pound. Is there anything at these extremes, the highs? Even the way price moved away, it looks a little bit compressed in there, or it looks like it has been spiked already. Maybe the supply, maybe in there. Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to be looking for anything in particular on the pound next week. Aussie. Yes, if you have any specific level that you're looking for, either euro, pound, or whatever, let me know. For us to take a look into it. Aussie, interesting one. I think I could see Aussie going a little bit higher, a little bit maybe closer to this level in here. This high kind of reacted just from the previous level support resistance with a good supply in there. Price has been managing to respect this low. It's kind of a KM in there as well, which is a reaction from this one. Personally, bigger picture, I would like to see Aussie going a little bit lower and maybe filling out this and navigating to the downside. But maybe before it does that, it can literally maybe retest either first this level in here, or even start to navigate a little bit higher and eventually resume the move to the downside. Bigger picture, yep, if you guys remember, I was still looking for price to go a little bit closer to that level. This side never really got there, so eventually we can even target this high as a move to the eventually when you do have that move upwards. Is it from this level? Maybe. See, but there is still, first of all, maybe this could be, first of all, we need to break this level to the upside. If you do that, maybe next level, maybe something here, and then you continue to go. Hi Carax, how are you, man? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, Aussie, a little bit similar, a little bit over range. Again, interest rate decision to happen during this week, and of course, everything that is going to happen with the dollar. Expect some volatility for next week, and maybe either we're going to resume a little bit move to downside, or we're going to have a deep retracement. But on the Aussie to the pound and the dollar, I could see, right, at least I can still see more bearishness on the Aussie comparing with the euro and the pound. I'm okay kind of where the euro and the pound are reacting at those. Again, I could still see it going a little bit lower, but on the Aussie, I'm not that okay. I see this level just as a zone to retrace a little bit, but eventually I don't see it as a final target at this point for the sellers. I think price wants to go eventually a little bit lower on the Aussie. Question mark is from where? Again, pay attention to compression, to the approach, and so on. Yeah, even Euro Aussie. Yep. So Euro Aussie, it was an interesting one. So we finally kind of are reacting a little bit from this level. There's even the chance eventually to go a little bit higher in there, but for now, this spike in here with these out the left shoulders in here, it may be a good level. And what do you have in here, right? We have kind of this triple bottom, price breaking below the triple bottom, kind of reacting up from this demand. Really nice move, but this maybe can be seen a little bit as an engulf down, and now we just fake out the highs, and maybe we can see price going a little bit lower, and maybe we're testing this level. Either way, we are at this demand zone. Let's see how price reacts from here, but maybe you could see price navigating a little bit lower, kind of first take the lows, then take the highs, and maybe continue into the direction, the first direction that price broke structure. And this can be a good level in here. It's a okay level where price reacted from, so price could kind of have a little bit more of a deep retracement in here, with a lot of compression, to be honest. So yeah, just keeping an eye on this one. Let's see how price is going to react and move away from this level. The yen index, the yen pairs. Yeah, that was initially on Tuesday a good level, but then what we had, right? So price paused, it reacted from that previous level support resistance visible on 4-hour time frame. I think even daily time frame. It's quite obvious, right? This previous level of supply kind of price was not really respected in there, and it was respected now in here, breaking a little bit of a few lows in there, and now we are still reacting from this level, so it's still the same level. Initially a little bit more from the base, and now a little bit more deep into there. Personally, I would even like to see eventually price to pick out all this, pick out all this, and to go maybe a little bit more into there, or eventually kind of to take out again the high and maybe go into here. But for now, it was a good reaction, and especially the approach, because we managed to create a double bottom, a double top. Sorry, we managed to create in here a double top that kind of attract more people even to look for sales. Again, in here again another team to look for sales. Price took one of the last demands that was still in here. Everything in here basically compressed. This one a little bit still fresh, but I think price can navigate towards to these lows once again. And yes, nice reaction. Price went down, reacted, and it left the supply there. It was around the same time that the euro kind of turned to the upside. Like in the evening, it was 6-7 p.m. In there. Yeah, it was around 6 p.m. on Thursday. Not the best timing to, again, the focus was not there, but it was the zone that I was looking for to sell. We could see literally that this highs never really reacted from there. I was already looking for the 7 there, but then I don't think even I was in my charts when price reacted to this level. It was a good level. It was a good level to look for a sell. How the approach was quite nice. The compression as well, faking out that double top. Price kind of already breaking that demand zone that I mentioned. So when price kind of breaks that structure, usually creates some kind of demand zone in here, and then with the fake out, either price respects this level and goes higher, or eventually price can break that level, and eventually you can have your opportunity to look for that sell. It was somewhere in here that occurred. And yes, I could see more bearishness on the yen, at least until this to retest last week's lows, somewhere in here, if not a little bit farther down. Yesterday I was even looking, during the session I was even looking for price to go a little bit higher towards that level to attempt to look for a sell, which unfortunately price just paused in here, right? So I was looking for price to go a little bit above this high into this level. That never occurred. Let's just continue. There may be still something in here. around there, something in there. The price just took this one apparently, and it moved on. So yep, never we managed to get anything in there. So yes, I look for the yen to go a little bit further down, retest these lows, if not even continue after that to go a bit deeper. But for now, from this level, let's see if price by any chance resumes the move to the upside, and eventually takes that high that I was mentioning, that I could see price still going above this, just resuming the move. Or if you are going to by any chance fake out this low, maybe now reacting somewhere from here, and then maybe resume the move upwards. Yeah, which is kind of retesting this previous level of resistance, kind of still fresh in there. We'll see. This one in here, this level in here looks interesting as well. I remember that level. I remember that price had broken this low and it never really filled the space. Yep, I remember because I had a target in there. Let's just pause in here. Yep. Eventually that could even be a final target. I'm not sure if that's already the timing to do that. I still kind of like where that price could react somewhere in here and just resume the move upwards. You saw that 136,700. 136,700. Was that yesterday or Thursday? Where is 136,700? Yep, that could have been a good level. Was it in here? Question mark is, did you sell before or after the fake out? It's kind of the question mark in there. 500 pips, where does it that video? Oh, Jesus. Where does that video? Where does 500 pips move goes to? All the way to test this level? Just basically all this. Yeah, maybe. I still see some structure in here that I would like to see being broken first. First of all, of course, as I mentioned, just this low. And then maybe that level. This level, yes, this level still look, and it looks strong. Yes, it's kind of a obvious supply level in there. Personally, I would love to see it being faked out. Let's see if this is not just kind of as a compression, and if price will just kind of still resume, maybe make that final third high, or maybe this was already one of the highs, and maybe it can do that. Yeah, we'll see. It was a nice entry, even in alignment with this left shoulders in here. That was a nice kind of zone to enter. My idea it would have been somewhere in there. I was trying to rejoin the move somewhere around the same level that you did entry yesterday. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, after the fake out, right? Yeah, nice timing. Yeah, hopefully. Let's see. I could see yen literally retesting this level. Let's see if it breaks. If it breaks below the low. And this could be in alignment with the yen index that is respecting that demand, kind of moving upwards. So yeah, maybe there's no need for the yen to create a new high. Maybe we can just start to navigate to the downside. In there, we do have a little bit of this spike. I'm not really sure about that, but yeah, maybe. Maybe it could go somewhere close there. I still like this level first as well. Yeah, few zones in there. Mohit Samani, brother using smart money concept. That's a nice one. Oh, Marco Suvis, thank you for subscribing. Mohit Samani, yeah, smart money concept. Maybe using some terminology like that. I was analyzing the way I do even before I heard the concept of smart money concept. So yeah, but maybe still kind of all the same things, maybe. Yeah. Thank you, Marco. Then you're looking at 136.66. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for as well. Price never really retraced there yesterday, unfortunately. So let's see when that happens now. Yeah, let's see when that happens. I still like that level as well. No idea if price has even the need to go and retest all that. So again, kind of this was when we had that spike when someone said something from the Fed. Price just kind of moved. We are having alignment a little bit with this left shoulder. So yeah, but for now, yes, price may react from there first. If you do break above that level, maybe you can eventually go closer somewhere in here, in there. But for now, price is moving to the downside quite nicely. So yeah, maybe somewhere in there could go to. Yeah, we'll see on the end. Yeah, the best one, my favorite would have been Thursday in the evening, the same on the euro dollar. Thursday in the evening, when price was somewhere in here, that would have been my favorite entry. When price is kind of in the middle, it's not my favorite. Euro yen can be another one, interesting, still reacting from a really nice and interesting support level in there. Another one that we kind of break some lows, and then we went out the way to fake out this high. And this is more often kind of, we see this happening more often than not. Anytime we kind of have a strong move either to the downside or to the upside, and we may feel a little bit upset because kind of we may have missed this one. More often than not, price eventually is going to slowly retrace towards that level, and is going to fake out it. It's going to attract many people. You can see how many people are trying to sell at this supply level. But more often than not, you are going to eventually just create a small fake out. Something that you could pay attention to is where actually is this high reacting to on the left side, and if there isn't any actually better zone just above it, that price can still kind of fake out and go. But yeah, this is kind of a traditional move in here. I think the other day I was talking with someone about BTC, and this was one of the common patterns that you could see. Especially BTC recently has been just creating spikes here and there, but anytime you kind of created that spike, it would eventually retrace in a kind of smaller pace, because this is quite fast. And then in a smaller pace, you'll just go a little bit higher, break out that level, and now it would actually have the biggest turn of the move. Yeah, price never retraced this level. This high in here is actually reacting from another spike in there. I was looking for price to get a little bit closer to the highs, which never happened. It was a weird spike yesterday in the morning on the end. I was looking for price to get closer to here, which never occurred. So yep, never happened. Maybe in the future price can go there. For now, maybe a little bit more room to the downside on the end. We'll see what's going to happen in there. But yeah, my favorite zone, it would have been somewhere in there to look for. There's maybe even some stuff in here. Again, these highs never really got there. Yep. Yeah, right. This can be, again, just coming back to this point. I think setting up an alert around these levels anytime kind of it occurs, a strong move and quick move like that. Yeah, it's one that we want to pay attention to in the future for sure. On the end, yeah, kind of retesting that level. On the end, never really had a deep retracement. It's reacting from this level. Are you going to go higher or not? Are you going to go a little bit lower? Eventually, kind of still like a little bit of this level in here. Price could maybe just continue to move higher from here. We'll see. Pound yen is haven't opened a trade on pound yen for a long time. For a long time. It hasn't been one that I've been analyzing that often. Let's see what's going to happen. CAD is another one. Where are you? This CAD. BOG rate this week. Oh, I missed that one. Yeah, I think that's why I saw Australia, I saw Bank of Canada, so BOG as well. BOG, it's going to be interesting, right? With the new governor. The other one is going to leave in April, right? So basically another month, and the final is going finish his 10-year tenure in as a governor. It's going to come up the new guy. Let's see if the end finally has any. It changes the monetary policy that it has having. Inflation came out the other day, yesterday, or Thursday night, a little bit lower. It was at 4.3. I think it's 3.4. I think that was because the government just kind of put another big package to help them with the electricity bills. That's one of the main reasons. Yeah, let's see what the end's going to do. It's literally doing something different from everyone else with this easing approach of keep printing money, holding the bonds at 0.5%. Yeah, Euro Yen is going to be a good one, yeah? Yeah, our Euro Yens, and I don't know, Forex, if you pay attention to the yen index, something that we pay attention to, at least something that I like to analyze. And yen index is reacting from the daily demand, right? In here. So it's great to see them in alignment, which could mean yen index to the upside, which would with dollar yen and euro yen and everyone else kind of to the downside. So yeah, something to pay attention to. And that's kind of why I was pissed a little bit on Tuesday when I kind of missed the first sell. It was so obvious. It was the moment that actually this one reacted from there. Yeah, I was quite pissed that I missed that the first sell opportunity on the yen. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we are turning on the yen pairs. We'll see. What do we have? CAD. Before CAD, let me just check euro pound. Yeah, euro pound. Again, it was a strong move on the euro last Thursday. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Thursday. It was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, strong move to the upside, and then kind of a little bit of a move to the downside. Reacted a little bit from this level. I was looking for price to go a little bit higher in here before the turn. Price just paused in there. It is what it is. And after that, a little bit of a good move in there. Price broke the walls, kind of goes, and maybe now resuming again. This level, yeah, the euro pound kind of reacted from that high. Are we going to go down from here? Are we going to eventually go and navigate lower? This demand zone in here can still be interesting. Somewhere around that level, we have a double low created in here now. Or eventually, if price just continues to go lower, maybe can go a little bit farther down in there. Yeah, DXY, yeah. Which is interesting to analyze. I don't know if you guys have easily do it, but I like to look at aside from the dollar index, which is kind of the most common. But yeah, the euro index also can provide really good information, and the yen index as well. You see, where are you looking at? 3545, 35. Okay. Let's below it. At this week? Yeah, maybe. I have to be honest, I haven't traded CAD for so long. Since it has been in all this range. I think my only try to approach the CAD, I think, was somewhere in here when you finally reach this level. And you fake out all these walls. Aside from that, I haven't tried to trade CAD for a long time. It's in this weird dynamic full of respecting a lot of kind of highs, lows. I haven't enjoyed to look at it. You're looking for something 3, 5, 4, 5. You within this spike in here? Is there anything on the lower time frame that can be interesting? It was a nice reaction from this demand zone. Again, it's respecting every single kind of supply in there. It respected that one, this one respected that one. This one took it, of course it did. Even took that one, this small high in here, no it didn't. Can we see? Didn't react from that level either. It's right, we took this low. Again, it's incredible, right? So even with trading within this range, the way price kind of navigates from one side to the other by slightly taking some lows and then slightly taking some highs and then turning is just incredible. Yeah, it's just incredible. I'm not sure about this level. This kind of a strong, fast spike to downside, respected it and it moved higher. Maybe we are seeing something in the lower time frame. Not really sure. This level in here. Something in here. I'm not really sure. Okay, you are looking maybe at this. Yeah. Yes, at the base of that level. Yeah, maybe. Where did this will reacted from? It's even maybe a little bit below that level. Yeah, maybe something in there. Like it. Yeah, we'll see. CAD. My main point is, are we finally going to eventually move to the upside? Again, I think it's going to be another interest rate decision in here. I've been looking for price to go there for a long time. Price never really got there. Maybe in the future when you fake out all these highs, there's maybe a little bit of reaction to occur from there. Let's see. Are we going to go back all the way to the downside from those highs? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Took it. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if it holds or not. Again, a lot of highs being spiked in here. I'm not a big fan of everything, almost anything that I'm looking at in here. I remember one of the only things that I was looking for on here was for price to go below this low, and after that to finally turn, and not to look for the turns before price would go there before this lows. Price finally went there, respected kind of the extreme in there, and it turned to the upside. So that kind of occurred as a little bit as expected, and it filled this range, filled the spice in there. So now question mark, are we going, basically we are within this level, right, from these lows, and not even just these highs, not even kind of looking just at these highs, but actually a little bit above that. So we'll see which direction and which zones are going to be broken first on the cut. Dollar franc Swiss, it's another one that we look for. Again, we have been, personally, I've been a little bit bullish since we fake out that double low on the left side. So since the beginning, again, another one since the beginning of February that I've been bullish, a little bit in alignment with the dollar. Yeah, personally, I was looking for price to go a little bit above this double top. But the way price reacted, again, another zone of double tops being created in here. Not sure if we do, I don't think this will actually manage to break that low. Maybe it did, maybe it is already a little bit of a zone to continue to look for a move to downside. But again, another double top, fake out. It took nicely this high in here, so it was okay. It was nicely taken. I was looking for price to go a little bit above that. We'll see if now we have a little bit of a deep retracement on the dollar franc Swiss, and eventually kind of resuming maybe the move upwards or not. Eventually how this looks a little bit compressed, maybe all the way until maybe something in there. Let's see, we do still have maybe a little bit of this level. If you do maybe break below this level, maybe we can maybe target somewhere a little bit underneath it. Actually, there's maybe still this level which is in alignment with these highs in here. In there, this was a nice zone. Oh, another one. Sorry man, I couldn't really understand your name. Thank you for the subscription. I'm not used to this, man, guys, to be honest. How many people have been watching today? Peak of 18. I think that's a new higher high for me. So my equity account kind of is growing on YouTube. If I could show you the graph of the views in here, it looks like a nice equity chart so far. It's quite funny, to be honest. So thank you everyone for that is watching the videos and that is subscribing. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been doing these streams. I've been enjoying them, and we have been managing to predict quite nicely some key levels in the higher time frame and to identify reversals, which is what we try to do here. The dollar franc Swiss, yeah, let's see if we do break below that level, if we eventually navigate and continue to go towards that level to fill this space in here. Personally, for the bigger picture, all the way from these lows, I would still like to see price going at least above these highs, if not even kind of targeting all the way until that level. But let's see what's going to happen. There's maybe still this level in here that price could eventually go to. None of these lows reacted exactly from there. Bigger time frame, I think you can see it. But this was a really nice reaction from this demand, and maybe there's something in here, as I mentioned, that may be still fresh, or eventually all the way back to here, to the extreme, to the retest of these lows that we just fake out. This is the level that I'm talking about, and eventually we can resume the move higher. So yep, let's see what's going to happen. Maybe in alignment with whatever it's going to happen on the dollar franc Swiss is going to be on the same page, and we have gold as well. So yeah, gold, a little bit same story. We had gold just took a little bit of an extra day to create a newer low, but with this spike in here, it was a little bit visible. It was a nice one. We had just broken these highs, didn't really kind of reach this space, and yes, I think it was a little bit obvious that eventually price could go at least all the way until these highs, if not even continue to go a little bit higher. It's a nice reaction from that level. I think it's a daily zone. Again, not exactly a deep retracement. We kind of broke a little bit these lows, looking for price maybe to go a little bit lower before the continuation. That never really happened. Nice zone in here yesterday. Nice spike all the way back to this demand, and we had a strong closing yesterday in the evening. Yep, I could see price eventually going all the way there. There could be some reaction here. The way price is closing, I'm no longer going to be looking for that, and I could see price eventually going there. Gold was another one that we never had a deep retracement since we created these highs. So let's see if this is the range that we're going to fill in now. Yeah, so again, where we are reacting from, Something that we talked about previous level in here as well, something to consider, and price is reacting from this beginning of this move upwards. So everything in here looks a lot of compression until kind of we pause, kind of start to move away from that previous compression. We create a new zone. So it's reacting from there. It didn't really broke into the compression zone, so it didn't really open space now to maybe fill all the way in here. So it was a nice reaction, and let's see if now you're going to continue to navigate to the upside, which kind of would lead the dollar to go down. So again, keeping an eye on the dollar, keeping an eye on this one as well. So neither this high or that high, kind of reacting from this level. I'm going to pay attention to as well if what is in there on the lower time frame. Yep, something in there just above these highs. It would be quite nice to be faked out. Yeah, there's maybe something in here. The price could eventually go fake out those highs. Maybe there's an opportunity somewhere in here. So maybe just let price continue to go higher. Maybe now retest this level, or even kind of retest something in here. Continue to go higher until eventually get closer to this level and fake out these highs, and maybe have an opportunity in there to look for a sell. Yeah, maybe that could be something interesting. Yeah, something in there, and eventually could go a little bit higher. Yeah, nice, really nice reaction here with that spike, and price just continue to move higher. It's going to be an interesting week. Again, maybe Monday, the way price closed, maybe going to continue to have a little bit more of a bearishness on the dollar, and bullishness on the euro, bullish on gold, bullish in the indices maybe as well. So maybe we could expect that for Monday. Depending as well how market opens during the London session. If you do see that that momentum to the upside, maybe during the Asian session we see a little bit of a move down, but then during the London Open we see price continue to move higher. So if we do that, maybe we're going to see that Monday pattern happening, eventually price continue to move upwards until maybe Tuesday we see a little bit of a retracement. So let's see how price is going to open on Monday around the London Open, but we may have a continuation to the upside on Europe, for example, maybe targeting somewhere in there, which should be, no, that's even not that much, just a 30 pips move, maybe even more than that. So yeah, something to look at. BTC and Ethereum, what can you say in here? Again, BTC indeed broke those 25k mark on the left side. Yep, after we do that, there's a high probability that we could have a deep retracement or have a retracement after that. We are reacting a little bit from this, and reacted quite nicely from that level. I think price could go, yeah, maybe, yeah, I was looking a little bit for here to see if price kind of would react and then can maybe go higher, or are we going to go a little bit deeper into there? So that's something to keep an eye on. We still have now this variant here. Again, it's not something that I usually spend too much time analyzing. Nothing stands out to me for now. Maybe this variant here could be, or could originate a little bit of a reaction to the upside. So go a little bit lower and then maybe start turning towards to this level. Maybe something like this could occur. Create a little bit of this range in here. Do it a little bit. Eventually, it would be even nicer if you kind of fake out first upwards and then kind of fake out down into this level. and then kind of use this range to push price again, at least close to this supply level that originated all this move down, and then maybe either we continue to move down or we start just slowly continue to go higher in here. And based on all this, basically we can see a little bit of how different, comparing with last year, how the indices and crypto were correlated. Basically, anytime we could see some strong move to the downside on crypto, it will be followed by the indices, or the opposite, a strong move to the downside on the indices will be followed by the crypto. And as you can see, Friday and Thursday we had a reversal in the indices. Nothing happened like that on BTC, for example. We actually had this sell-off occurring a little bit in here overnight, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see that the correlation is not there since the beginning of this year, which is something important to pay attention to. So yeah, let's see if BTC doesn't create this during the weekend. Could be some kind of pattern that we could expect. Yeah, in this time frame it looks like this level is still fresh, so price could go there. So pause a little bit and do that. Ethereum, a little bit similar, maybe going a little bit farther below, somewhere in there. Ethereum, I was looking for price to go a little bit above these highs towards that level before the move to the downside. Price just paused in here, and the move after that is kind of what I was looking for, but I wanted to see first the high being created, or kind of reacting towards that level, which never occurred. So again, let's see what kind of range we are going to be creating in here, maybe retesting this previous level and then navigating to the downside. Yep. First of all, maybe first actually go down in here, and maybe go down in here, take this demand zone. I'll go a little bit higher, take these highs, then move down and eventually react from this level and start going higher towards that level again. Yeah, maybe if price wants to stay within this range, maybe that could happen. Price reacted from that level. Maybe this could happen in there. So yeah. Any other thing that you guys are looking at? Any other key levels that you are looking for? I think I went around basically all the pairs that I usually look for. Yep. Let's see where the dollar is going to. Again, keeping an eye on that high. Is the dollar going to respect the high and then move down, or is going to break it and maybe have a deep retracement after that? It's going to be an important week. We have finally some news occurring. The last 2 weeks it was has been a little bit quiet in terms of news events. So March is already here, expecting some volatility in there. And basically that's it. I think I don't really have anything else to look at. Next Saturday, I'm not sure if I'm going to stream or not. I'm going to travel to Portugal. I think it's in the afternoon, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I don't think I'll be able to stream. I think I need to go to the airport early, or in the afternoon. So no streams next Saturday. I will be back on Tuesday at 6 p.m. So next Tuesday I'll be here. Again, maybe to update whatever the market is going to do during the opening for next week. And if you have anything in particular to talk about, any specific price action that you would like to talk about, feel free to ask and we can cover that on Tuesdays. Live stream. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much. I'm grateful for everyone that is watching the stream. for everyone that has subscribed as well. If you got value from it, fantastic. That's the main point. I hope you guys benefit from the analysis that I am doing and that we are doing from the levels that you mentioned as well. So we are here to help each other, and basically that's it. Have a good weekend, guys. Enjoy. I will see you back next Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye. Thank you, guys. Obrigado.